Peace, family. It's your boy Zay-P. Zay-P, the I am. I am that I am, as you are that you are, for we are all that we are. From the individual to the many, for the many is all, for the all is one. And I am back again with a brand new video. I just felt the need to drop a quick one because Spirit felt called to speak on the topic of the recent passing of Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, his young 13-year-old daughter, and the 7 other victims of the helicopter crash. It's a very tragic, sad scenario. I know many in our nation are mourning. I know many across the world are mourning this loss. And it is deeply, deeply felt by so many people. I can feel energetically in the air how many people are really devastated by the loss of Kobe Bryant, which for me personally strikes me. It strikes me really and truly because as a fan of basketball, as an NBA fan, one of my personal favorite sports and pastimes, and being from New York, I was never the biggest Kobe Bryant fan. Don't get me wrong, no one could deny his incredible talent. No one could deny his drive for excellence and how much he bust his butt on that court and off that court. He was a man, he was human, he had his negative aspects as well as his positive aspects like we all do. This is what a lot of what I talk about on this channel is the fact that we are human and we have these different sides of ourselves, right? But learning how to come into balance with it all. And Kobe was somebody who actually did a pretty good job of that, presented himself well. He took his falls like a man, he took his lumps. He did what he had to do to make amends. He did what he had to do to either prove himself innocent or just to prove himself not guilty of whatever crimes and accusations he might have been accused of. But beyond that, all of that is just to say he was a human being. He was not some sort of saint. He was not some sort of devil. He was human with the good and the bad. But at the end of the day, he was a talented, incredible spirit and individual who earned so many others' respect. And that's the message that Spirit came to me with regards to the loss of Kobe. Spirit came to me with this lesson on the value of respect, the value of earning respect. To me, as somebody who is and was an NBA fan, and although I'm from New York, being a New York Knicks fan, and I know the Knicks are trash, it's just a kind of local loyalty thing. But that besides the point, being a New York Knicks fan, of course, someone like Kobe, who was at the top of the league and doing everything in the world for his team, the Los Angeles Lakers, naturally, competitively as a fan, I had my issues with him. I was not the biggest fan or supporter of Kobe because, well, his team constantly trashed my team, right? That's part of the fun of sports, part of the fun of competition. But at the end of the day, the man's talent was undeniable. The man's hard work and his work ethic was undeniable. He poured 100% into everything he did. And that led to a place where everybody respected him. You can hear the stories throughout the leagues. And lots of people are talking about it on all the sports channels, ESPN and Fox Sports and all this. Everybody talks about the competition that they had with Kobe, whether they liked him or not, all of these different nuanced things. But at the end of the day, the common denominator has always come down to mutual respect. Everybody has had respect for that man, and with good cause. He earned that respect. He earned that respect by pouring 100% of his effort into all that he was doing. And regardless of if it was basketball, regardless if it was off the court making investments, or if it was creating projects, if he was encouraging youth to learn how to read, to storytell, the power of storytelling. He had a lot of different projects that he had his hand in. But they were all things that he was passionate about, all things that he believed in, all things that he poured 100% of himself into. And because of that, he earned everybody's respects irregardless of the field that he was in. And it's interesting that for somebody who was so polarizing as a public figure, just from a competitive sports place, that same person can cause so much grief and heartache throughout a nation or across the globe, just from his standing and his stature and what he represented. The man represented excellence. He represented embodying excellence in all that he did. And so losing Kobe was a very, very heartfelt loss for the nation. And surprisingly to myself, I felt it, because as somebody who was never really the biggest Kobe fan, I respected the man. And having lost that model, that example of what it is to pour 100% into the things that you love, into the things that you believe in, having lost that example of what it is to truly embody excellence, it's a loss that has ripple effects all throughout the culture. And so for today, I want to share my condolences with the Bryant family. I want to share my condolences for all of the others lost on that plane. It is almost sad how much the fact that Kobe passed, and especially with his daughter, his young daughter, 13 years old, it's just sad to lose lives at such precious ages. It is almost sad that the fact that this man was such a star, this man embodied such excellence and meant so much to so many, that the rest of the other passengers on this helicopter in this tragedy are not getting as much mention. But the love and the loss is felt nonetheless for those individuals as well. So I want to send out love to all the families and all the victims, and may everybody who is experiencing difficulty and hardship through this time find some sense of peace, find some sense of honor in it. And may everybody who recognizes the loss that we just took with losing Kobe, may everybody be able to remember the lessons that they learned from him and choose to embody those same principles in our own lives, be it the excellence, pouring 100% of ourselves into the things that we believe, the things that we're passionate about, putting our best foot forward, and not being afraid to knock some doors down, to knock some teeth in if you have to push your way through boundaries and obstacles in order to achieve the things that you want, because it is doable, it is possible, and Kobe showed us that. And so with that, I just want to send all my love out to everybody who is mourning the loss, everybody who has felt that loss, and I want to share a little bit of healing and energy work and light language so that others may feel some sense of peace. So if we take a moment and join me in this moment of silence, and allow me to share a little bit of light language energy work. Yakate no hasta, home yakati, soroe atana, olegai aitome hala. Kobe embodied excellence. I see no ehake atrasio. He was an example for all. Just like many look back at the Buddha, many look back at Jesus, many look back at Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and John Kennedy and all these other historical figures who may have embodied excellence in one form or another, who may have embodied putting their best foot forward, who may have embodied shining their light, their own unique, authentic sensibilities. Kobe did that. Whether you want to respect the fact that he played basketball and you consider that a game, whether you want to just belittle that or not, you have to admire and acknowledge and respect all that that man represented, all that he shined as an example to the world, for everybody else to embody. So to the Bryant family, to those in mourning, to everybody who's feeling this loss, my love goes out to y'all. To everybody who's questioning what the light language was that I was speaking, light language is basically communication of the soul. Human words are so limited, especially in times of loss, and sometimes words are unneeded, but the soul can speak. And so in a modality like light language, those emotions, that compassion, that empathy can be felt wholeheartedly and so much more than simply my words of condolences. So again, I leave you with a little bit of light language. Yakaria honeti amahla kotosihane ikomia diaro ni karehatela yamahiko antinawe so behalast. May there be peace. May Kobe's transition be peaceful. May his daughter's transition be peaceful. May all the other people who passed in that helicopter crash experience a peaceful transition. May there be peace for the loved ones and the families in mourning. May there be peace and learning for all of us who have noticed and are aware of this loss and this new hole in our collective consciousness. Thank y'all.